You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Hey, guess what day of the week it is? Nope, not Monday. Nope, not Tuesday. It might be Wednesday. I don't know when you listen to this show. And frankly, I don't give a crap. All I care about is what day it is right now today. And it's the day of the P3 podcast. It's P3 podcast day. It's not Rusev Day. He's out. He'll probably have some name like Sergey. It's Sergey Day. Oh, so racist. And he's not even Russian. Man, I suck. Hey, anyway, listen. Poot the Bard, Alec Ransom, and a special guest for all of your people's ears. Pucker up them earlobes. Get ready to have a little tingle in the drums. It's going to be music to your ear holes. That's right. We've got the MIDCARD Maniac. He's showing up on this episode not to try to stump us idiots, but he's here to talk to us idiots about wrestling. Because Tiger Bomb Tom, he's out. Once again, who knows when he's coming back. He's in the jungle doing tiger things. Beef the Legend, he's out. Know why? Because it's a disappointment. He's not Beef the Legend. He's Beef the Letdown. All right? He's got about as much dedication to this podcast as he does to fitness. Unless you're talking about fitting this low-calorie Michelob Ultra bullshit beer into his face, and then pow, Fitness City. So let's kick this shit off right and talk about Vince McMahon being insane and changing Monday Night Raw. What was it? What did the article say? About 15 minutes before Monday Night Raw was supposed to go on the air, Vince McMahon was still making alterations. Boys, what do you think of the old Vince McMahon, Aroni? Oh.
You're
Great
listening
talk, everybody.
to the Pittsburgh.
No, this is... Why are we doing this?
But you didn't leave a space for that.
There's no cold intro there, dummy. It's the intro that comes after. No. Stop trying to interrupt, dum-dum. The whole thing came after you're listening to. Do you understand how podcasts work?
Okay, so there's no cold open.
No, stupid.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't
Let's
on the
talk about the show.
Page. See, it's
Let's
okay.
talk about the show while we're on the show.
All right,
hey,
sounds good. Hi, everyone.
This is P3 Podcast Hash It Out Hour. We're going to talk about how we're supposed to podcast for all you newbies in the podcast world.
And
it's tech support time.
We're putting on the best show for our guest. By the way, everyone, say hello to the MIDCARD Maniac. Maniac, say hi.
Welcome to the most disappointing podcast you'll ever be on.
Finally, the Maniac has come to the podcast.
I see what he did there. I like that. I'm smelling what the Maniac is cooking.
That is a smooth voice you got there, Maniac.
Well, thank you very much.
This would be a fantastic episode if we didn't already start it off like a WWE title match. Botches everywhere.
Botch City. Well, no.
This is Botchamania Podcast. Welcome to... Oh, no, that's...
Well,
we can't say that.
Really quick while the Maniac's here, and I know we want to get to talking about how insane Vince McMahon is and what they're doing with Keith Lee. But but first, what'd you guys think of NXT Takeover 30 and SummerSlam?
Maniac, what do you think?
Maniac, you're after you.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't happen to catch NXT 30.
NXT Corrupt?
Yeah. That stupid work schedule that I have where I'm working all hours of every other hour of every other day. BS. I did catch SummerSlam. I caught it the day after that it aired because there were only a couple matches that I wanted to watch, so I just watched those ones.
All right, that's fair.
That's the best way to do it. Maniac and I were talking before Poot came here. That's the best way to do it. You can watch it the day after, and if there's a snoozer of a match that comes on, you can just go, no, thank you. Skip. Can't do that when you're watching live.
No.
Exactly.
But all in all, what was your takeaway?
What matches did you watch? And what you think?
I watched the Asuka Sasha Banks match.
Okay.
All right.
For the Raw Women's title, just because I was praying to God that Banks lost that title.
Oh. Are you another person that does not like Sasha Banks?
I never have. I never will.
I'm not the only one. I knew I couldn't be the only one.
You weren't
Now-
the only one.
Oh, well, I thought you and Beef just bonered out for Sasha.
No,
Is that just
didn't.
Beef?
No, it was just Beef. Beef has always had a
okay.
giant throbbing boner for her.
Well, let's not go and say things that you know we can't take back in a court of law. Okay.
Okay, all right.
So I was glad to see her lose one of her titles. Now she just needs to lose that tag team title, and all will be right in the world.
You know what? I like the way the Maniac thinks.
Yeah, right?
I really do.
But here's the thing, like
I never liked her.
I don't, and somebody there must not either. Because I'm not advocating for her to hold titles. Because I don't like her. She's just, I don't know. I don't know what I have against her. She doesn't do anything for me.
No.
You know, and it has nothing to do with anybody's outfits, looks, body, whatever. It's her just entire persona. The way she talks, the way she wrestles, it's just Snoozeville for me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, she consistently wins a title, hangs onto it for a cup of coffee, and then loses it again. So I don't know
That's
if
the one
somebody's
thing.
got it in for her in the back or what.
That's what I can't stand is she's hot potato titles like they're going out of style and then coming right back into style.
I think a lot of it is, number one, and Beef somewhere, he's gonna like have like one of those weird like you remember from Dumb and Dumber, the cop that drank the piss? He does that thing somewhere.
He's got the tick.
With this statement I'm gonna make, Beef is doing that somewhere. Sasha Banks is a really good, consistent transitional champion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's a very good transitional champion. Like,
that makes me happy.
And the thing is too, from the inception of the women's belt coming from the Divas belt, aside from Asuka and NXT, how many women have actually had a really good, long, solid run with those belts? Like,
now,
either
are you
one.
talking like women NXT or women main roster?
Women, like, over all the brands, but, like, aside from Asuka's big dumb reign she had, like, in NXT.
Didn't Shayna Baszler have a pretty big one?
Well, no, okay, we'll talk just main roster then. The two belts that are on the main roster.
Well, I don't even know how long Shayna Baszler has that title, to be honest with you. I feel like it was long, but I couldn't tell you.
I think it was a okay run, but I don't think it was anything big. Don't listen. I've spent the day drinking beers and catching up on Spider-Man movies I missed. So enjoy that for the rest of the night.
Good.
Yeah, by the way, Homecoming, and I'm in the middle of Far From Home whenever we started recording this. So there we go. That's a whole different nerd podcast subdivision. No, but like my point with Sasha Banks is people like her. She is talented. She is very good in the ring, but I just don't get all the hype. Like, I don't.
No.
I don't understand it. I think that there are plenty of women that are on the roster that can go toe to toe with her. We said Asuka, Shayna Baszler. Hell, you might not like her, whatever. Charlotte Flair, even though she has less experience, has done wonders.
Yeah, and whether you're going to give credit to her because of her name or because of what she's done, she's got a lot more. She's done a lot more than Sasha Banks. You know, whether it's deserved or not, whether it's because of the Flair name or not, she's got a better legacy. You know.
For
and
sure.
I think part of the thing. I think one of the things with Banks is too they're playing on the fact that she's Snoop Dogg's cousin.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
she is.
You didn't know that?
Oh, no.
That's how Snoop Dogg. That's how they kind of. What was it? A couple years ago, they had Snoop Dogg at Mania.
Yeah, he sang her entrance music, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like he came down to the ring with
think he
her,
did.
rapping with her entrance music.
yeah, it was something.
I remember
along those
seeing that.
lines.
I just didn't understand the connection. I'm like, oh, they got
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg to do this, so that's cool. But I guess I didn't
Yeah.
realize that the cousin connection there. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, apparently that doesn't flow as well in the WWE as being related to Ric Flair.
Well, of course. Well, I mean, of course it doesn't. Ric Flair is literal wrestling royalty, but what Mania? I personally thought that both Asuka matches were really good. What did you think of the Sasha Banks Asuka match overall?
Overall, I think it was good. I agree with you guys. I think Banks has the talent. Whether or not the hype is deserved, that's a whole nother story. A lot of good with the close finishes. Kept me interested, kept me going in the match because even though I knew who was going to win, I still wanted to see how it played out in the ring.
Yeah.
So did that come first, or did the Asuka Bailey match come first? I can't remember.
Asuka Bailey was first.
Okay.
And they.
See, I think I
they were the
flip-flopped that on
first
picks.
match
I
of the
picked
match.
that Bailey was going to lose and Sasha was going to win.
No, like
No.
no.
I don't know. I am surprised that she won that title and then lost it again so fast. I don't think I should be surprised because that's kind of like her gimmick. But I didn't think they'd do it again. But, boy, was I wrong.
Well, I mean, I think they've. First of all, I think it was trying to legitimize Bailey a little bit more because, like I said, Bailey's run as a heel has been lackluster, if I may
Really?
say. I think so.
I disagree.
Well, I think it's more. I think okay. Let me clarify even further. It's more her presentation. Because and maybe it's just me. It could just be me, and I'm willing to accept that. But I think it's like a lot of it for me. I look at her and I go, "You're not a heel. You're not. You're a face." Like there are some people like you look at like Beef has brought it up before, and I've brought it up, and I'm sure every single one of us have brought it up that Randy Orton is way better as a heel. He's a heel. Like, and he's such a good heel that people like him. But there are people like Adam Cole. Adam Cole is a heel. If he tried to do the, as we say on here, white face baby meat thing, like if he tried to do that, it just wouldn't flow. He has to still be Adam Cole, and Adam Cole is a heel. That's the thing. I look at Bailey and I go, you're a face. You're just a face. Like, bring back the hug gimmick, do the thing, and, like, that's just me. I don't know. Like, do me a favor, please. If I'm off base, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Well, I think with WWE and wrestling in general, there are two types of heels that you have. You have the heels like Adam Cole that they're just so good at being that heel that you can't help but like. And that sometimes they stay heel and sometimes they eventually become face. Then you have people like Bailey who pull the switch, go from face to heel, play that heel, but they always stay that heel until they flip the switch again and do whatever storyline wise to become that face again, and then the fans accept them as a face.
All right. I
think.
Go ahead.
I think Bailey falls in that latter category. If she's going to play the heel, she's going to be the heel, and people are not going to like her. But if she does something to bring herself back into becoming a face, she'll be a face. The fans will accept it, and life will go on.
And they'll love it even more because it's like, yay, we got the old Bailey back.
Yep.
I got you.
I think she's more popular as a face. So I agree with you on that, Poot. I believe she's more popular as a face. But she makes a believable heel. She really went all in with this heel gimmick. She didn't have the balloon things come up. She didn't keep the same outfits. You know, some people will try to change heel, and they won't change too much about themselves, other than the fact that now, instead of they come out and they're like, yeah, me, you know, like, woohoo, we can do it. We're a team universe. You know, they come out and they insult the city like, oh, we're in Portland, Oregon, and boy, do I smell dookie. Like, okay, great. You're not really doing too much to be a heel other than insulting the fans. So while it might work for some people, there are wrestlers that don't really change a lot of who they are. Bayley went ballistic.
Oh, she cut up the Bayley buddies. She got the I want to speak to the manager haircut. She did do a lot.
She changed her outfits. They're not flashy and bright and fun. You know, she did a whole lot. The music got, you know, rougher and darker. Like, she really went above and beyond with this heel change. So I feel like she put in the effort. And if you put those characters side by side, face Bayley and heel Bayley, I feel like you could really see a solid differentiating factor between those two. Whereas some people, if you put their heel character, like Big Show, you put heel Big Show and face Big Show beside each other, unless they're talking, you would not be able to tell the difference between which one was which. You put face Bayley beside heel Bayley, just standing there, you'll clearly be able to differentiate.
All right, I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. And I will say that had proved me wrong. Now, Maniac, I know you said you didn't watch NXT TakeOver 30. However,
No.
I think what we need to do when we have a big weekend, and I think this is something because this was so glaring, and for me it was a little sad, and I think it was because of something that's going to come up, that we need to have a stinker match of the weekend. Like, we need to pick like a stinker match, and like this one. Since Beef's not here, guys, can I give you my legendary letdown?
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thieving the gimmick because he's not here. Suck my ass, Beef. All right.
Oh, my heavens.
So the thing that was the biggest disappointment of the weekend, my legendary letdown, was Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. I was so excited for that match. And the thing that sucks is the build up to all this was so good. The build, as you know, Keith Lee, and we all called it. We all called Keith Lee being a transitional champion. And you know, with all due respect to Keith Lee, because I really like him as a wrestler and as a personality, I could listen to that man read the phone book. What we need is an audiobook, like any audiobook, read by Keith Lee and Samoa Joe. It would sell like hotcakes.
The Vince McMahon story.
That's eargasm right there. The Vince McMahon story read by Keith Lee and Samoa Joe. I'm sold.
Oh dear.
But that match, I was so looking forward to it because the build with Karrion Kross has been so good, you know, and the whole presentation, everything. And it was just not okay. It felt like the main event of a Raw.
Really?
Like,
Oof.
Boof is right, Maniac. Like, and it wasn't like it was like cringy to watch. It was that you were watching someone like Keith Lee, who, you know, Keith Lee can go and put on a hell of a match. And you're watching Karrion Kross, and you're going, you're better than this. Like, you're looking at both of them and go, what are you guys doing? However, this is something that needs to be brought up as well, and I think this is a piece of news to discuss with the Maniac here as well. Maniac, did you know that, first of all, Karrion Kross was the victor after the match?
Yes, I did know that. And I just recently read that he has forfeited the NXT Championship.
Yes, and that goes on to my next point, where it's Karrion Kross sustained a legitimate separated shoulder during that match.
Could you see the point where that happened?
I remember watching the match and seeing a definite turning point where it was like, something's wrong with Kross. Like, I can't remember if there was a definite point where when you watch it, you go, yep, that's where he hurt his shoulder. But the fact knowing that now that he actually separated his shoulder and is going to be out for a quote unquote undetermined amount of time.
Oh boy.
Because a separated shoulder can be minimal or it can be pretty serious. And knowing that, looking back at the match, it is still a letdown that we didn't get the match that I know those two could put on. But the fact that he muscled through that match with a separated shoulder, come on.
Yeah, that's gutsy.
That takes a consummate performer. But yeah, so that was probably my legendary letdown of the weekend. And I know somewhere Beef is screaming and shitting his pants thinking that's not the legendary letdown, you fool. But Roman being back would be the legendary letdown, I'm sure. But I'm eager to see where they're going to take tweener Roman. I'm excited to see that. That's a whole nother can of worms. However, it was brought up earlier, and I didn't mean to hijack everything by talking about SummerSlam. I'm sure we'll get into it more whenever Beef is back and all that, because I know we have fairly limited time with you, correct, Maniac?
Yeah, you got me for about another half hour.
Another half hour. Okay, well, let's dive into it. Vince McMahon this past Raw showed up and ripped up the show. What was it, half an hour beforehand?
Yeah, I think the article that I read said something along the lines of he showed up, didn't like it, tore it up, and they still didn't have the show finalized by like 15 minutes before start time. So 15 minutes before start time, they were still revising parts of the show.
We are creeping dangerously close to WCW territory where they would have William Regal and someone else go out and say, hey, go have a match while we figure out what's next. Am I wrong?
No.
Well, here's the thing that I don't understand. And all right. So I don't understand it on a multitude of levels. One is because I'm not involved in the business, I don't understand how far ahead of the show they sit down and go, okay, here's what we're going to do. Layout. Production review. Here are the matches. Okay, we sign off. We're good to go. Normally, I don't know how far in advance that takes. But you would have to imagine at some point, and with as much of a control freak as Vince McMahon is, he's definitely a part of that. So you would think, and again, I'm speculating because I don't know, but you would think that Vince McMahon would have had a production meeting sometime before Raw. They would have gone over everything, and Vince would have signed off on everything. Yep, it all looks good. I'm happy with it. Let's go. Then, who knows how long of a time period passes between that and when they get to the arena and they're ready to go. So what on earth happens in that time period that makes Vince McMahon show up at Monday Night Raw hours, minutes before the show goes on and goes, nah, I don't like any of this. Let's start over. And that's not the first time he's done that. So what is happening? Why is the show getting signed off on? And then suddenly, right before it airs, it's nope. We got to change everything. What is happening?
Because he's senile.
Is that? Is that the only?
I mean, it's like, you have Uncle Bob who's schizophrenic sitting in the corner, yelling at the radio for talking to him.
How do you know my better. Uncle Bob?
Oh no,
Jesus, you know better. But to make things okay. You say, oh, yeah, you're right, Uncle Bob. That radio's talking to you. It's the same thing with his executive group. They're letting him do this stuff and say, well, it's okay. He's the boss. It's okay. Instead of, somebody saying, you can't be doing this. This is not professional. We're going to put on a subpar show because you're changing everything right at the last minute. It's not even the last minute. The last minute has gone and passed.
Yeah.
We need to put on a show now, and you're changing it. This is why AEW is going to beat us every single.
I don't know who other than Triple H has that stroke without really running the risk of being fired. I mean, I think anybody that has worked for Vince McMahon most people, I would say, have probably been fired at one point or another. I mean, how many times has Paul Heyman been fired? Bruce Pritchard,
Yeah.
JR. You know, they've been fired and hired back, fired and hired back. So you wonder how many of these people I mean, you would have to think a lot of them are thinking that. But you wonder how many of them are just keeping their mouths shut. Because if they go, okay, look, if I stand up and say, Vince, this is unprofessional, you can't do this, you're throwing people out of whack, we've already gone over the show, you've given it your blessing, we can't go back and change it now. It's not going to be good. You wonder how many of those people that think that stay silent because they have that fear that, well, if I speak up to Vince, I'm just going to get fired. So if the show is crappy, who cares? I still have a job.
Well, I think that's from years of conditioning, though. I mean,
yes.
it literally is for the creative team. I can't even imagine. Look, we talk about like quality of life for wrestlers all the time. Just imagine, fathom, if you will, the life of a creative like person or a backstage
couldn't. Working
person.
for WWE? Oh. No.
No.
I couldn't.
What? Okay. 1 year
NXT, yes.
1
Raw,
year
SmackDown, no.
1 year contract. You are a member of the Raw creative team. You 1 year contract. You dedicate 1 year of your life to being part of creative for Raw. How much money would it take for you to do that?
There isn't enough in the world.
Wow, really?
I definitely have a price. I'm like the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price, and I do. I couldn't tell you what that number is right now, but I'm sure there's a number that is high enough. You know.
Oh, for me,
I'd have to say roughly around 100,000 a year.
Wow, you're lowballing yourself. I was going to say 750.
I can't. They don't get paid that. I mean, they don't. I can't imagine they get paid anywhere near that. I don't even think they get paid anywhere near 100,000 a year. To be honest with you, the creative definitely not.
Yeah,
but to put up with that insanity, I wouldn't be able to. No.
That's why I wouldn't be able to put up with that insanity.
Unless it was some exorbitant amount.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like for the right amount of money, it's worth it. It's like, okay, and right now in COVID land, you don't even have to travel around. Like, but dealing with the whims of a crazy old man.
You're on all the time. Like, you don't have time off. Like, Vince McMahon could call you literally, he doesn't sleep. He sleeps 2, maybe 3 hours a night. So you're at the whim of this crazy old dude. If you're on the writing team, you're on 24/7. It doesn't matter if it's midnight and you're sleeping. I'm willing to bet that there's some sort of mandate out there that if Vince calls you, you better damn well answer. And I don't know if I could handle that.
I don't know. Like,
I know I couldn't.
What's then for you fellas, what's the breaking point where this stops being acceptable? Because Vince McMahon, I mean, he's the head honcho. But at what point do the other powers that be sit him down and go, look, you can't do this?
I truly, honestly believe that the only breaking point that there would be is if there's a serious drop in revenue. Like, I don't think anybody gives a crap how many people come and go. How many people quit voluntarily or are fired on a whim because of Vince McMahon. The shareholders, they're not looking at that. As long as their wallets keep getting filled with money, I don't think they care about employee turnover, employee satisfaction. Honestly, I don't think they give a crap about ratings. The ratings could be in the toilet. AEW, TNA, Impact, whatever the hell they call themselves now, NWA, it doesn't matter. Every single promotion that's out there, IWC, Clearfield, they could all beat WWE in the ratings. But as long as that money's still coming in, I don't think anybody in charge of WWE is giving a shit.
Oh.
Truly, I don't. Like, the shareholders, they're not going to oust Vince McMahon as long as they keep making money. At the end of the day, that's what they care about. The shareholders don't care about ratings. Vince probably does. The networks probably do. But until it starts to hit the pocketbook, I truly believe that there's not going to be anybody that's going to go, all right, Vince, we got to sit down and have a talk.
Yeah, it's not very
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not very often I agree with you, Ransom, but you make a very, very good point on it.
I mean, if you look at all the stuff that's
money
gone
talks.
on in WWE, yes, all the things that have gone on in WWE in the past few years. Like, how many times would we have said to ourselves or to each other on the show, how are the shareholders not sitting, they're not saying something to Vince? All the different things that have happened. It's because they continuously make money.
I think, though, when it starts encroaching, because this past Raw, did either of you guys watch Raw this week?
I didn't get the chance, no.
I caught bits of it.
Okay, well, overall, if you get the chance to go back and watch it, it was very, very Vince McMahon-y. Like, it was very clear that he came in at the 11th hour and just fucking went, nope, this is what I want to do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so it seemed like it was like rushed and hastily put together? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well, not even that. It was just like, it felt very very controlled and like, this is what I want to happen kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Again, that could just be me. But go back and watch it. See what you think. Because, and if anyone out there listening, down in the comments, tell us this past week on Raw, which would be the year of our Lord 2020. Actually, the year of Satan 2020.
Oh my.
It would be the 24th of August. Tell us what you thought of that Raw. And I know that's oddly specific, but seriously, like, go back and watch it. It's very peculiar how it felt. Like, it felt very kind of like it's weird to say everything made sense, but it was cattywampus. It was arbitrary. There was no flow.
I'll give you that.
Did they set up any sort of storyline rationale for matches that are going to be taking place at Payback? I mean, I know that they only have one Raw and one SmackDown in between SummerSlam and Payback. Did they do anything to set up any sort of matches at Payback, or was it just like, here's an announcement, here's an announcement?
It pretty much that. I mean, there's really, so far, as much as I saw, it's just all very kind of like, hey, we got a pay-per-view next weekend. Here you go.
Yeah, that makes about as much sense as a screen door in a submarine.
Not much sense. I thought you were going to take that the cliff way and just be like, that makes as much about as like leaves on a screen door of a submarine. Like that.
So
I love Biff, but he wasn't good with the comebacks.
Biff, not Cliff. Biff Tannen. That's
Cliff.
it. Biff
Oh, my.
Tannen. Yeah.
So, Maniac, I want to get your opinion on this.
Go ahead.
I know the three of us talked about it on the last show, and we didn't understand the whole, all right, we have SummerSlam, then we have one Raw and one SmackDown, and now we have Payback. You have pay-per-views back-to-back weekends.
Right.
It seems poorly planned. I think that was the consensus among the group, that it was just a weird idea to do something like that. What's your take on that?
I agree. It's, why are you going to put two pay-per-views on back-to-back weekends, especially when one of them is one of your big four?
To oppose AEW.
What's AEW doing on this coming weekend?
They're not doing anything, but they're trying to get people, it's just going, oh, look how many pay-per-views we have. Like, I really feel like, because, like, Beef made that point before, where he's like, they're trying to oppose AEW, but AEW is the following weekend. But they're still trying to crank things out. It's like, look, Roman came back. Now Roman's going to be in a match. They're trying to go, oh, no, look how great WWE is. What with its Roman Reigns?
Keith Lee debuted.
Oh, we're going to talk about that, but I want to finish this thought process. Maniac, I assume you're learning very quickly that we kind of yammer over top of each other. So after you.
Well, it's only been what we're 57 episodes deep. I think I picked that up.
Well, we sure as shit haven't yet. So
Nope, we haven't learned.
I
A
do
bunch of
have
loudmouth
one
idiots
small.
anyway, so
I do have one small request,
yeah.
what's
and
that?
feel free. I don't want to like break the train of thought or anything, but since I'm looking at the clock and I only have 15 minutes, I really, really, really wanted to do hot tag trivia with you guys.
Oh, well, that's good
Oh,
because
yes.
you know what? I was going to at the 11th hour with you. I was going to go, hey, let's stump the chump, Ransom. So I've got a question for the Maniac.
And
Oh,
I've got
I gotta-
one. I got one for Ransom.
Oh,
All right, I'll figure out a question here. You
right.
guys, you go first.
all right,
go
you
ahead.
go first. All right, go ahead.
Oh, frick, I don't know what to ask.
Do you want me to ask you? You know
No.
what? I'm going to ask.
I would say, Poot, why don't you ask me? I'll ask Ransom, and then Ransom.
Oh,
can
I'll gas
ask
you. Good. All right.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay.
All right. We can do that. All right.
I know I'm not going to get this.
Maniac, listen, don't sell yourself short. You're a sweet boy. All right, let's see.
Oh, my.
All right, Maniac, what
Yes.
WrestleMania, what number WrestleMania did not
Okay.
feature a traditional singles match?
Oh, wow.
Oh, coming in hot on you.
Wow, that is okay. I'm trying to think of like main events. And we're not counting like that WrestleMania 4 tournament
No,
as a not okay.
no. It's this WrestleMania in its entirety did not feature a traditional singles match.
Wow. That is dang, Poot.
You know what the best part is? This is the only weird, crazy wrestling trivia I know.
Okay, repeat your question because I wasn't listening.
Shock and awe.
I was looking up a question.
All right.
No, I was looking up a question. You cockfight.
All right. What WrestleMania, what number WrestleMania did
What
not
number
feature,
WrestleMania?
did not feature a traditional singles match?
Oh my.
I want to.
Oh, wait. Let me clarify even more. A traditional male singles match.
Oh damn, son.
Okay. That didn't help at all, but
No,
okay.
I've got nothing. I'm of no help on this one.
Oh my. I want to.
What?
I want to say WrestleMania 2000. Or WrestleMania 16, whichever way you want to call it.
Is that your final answer?
I think there was a singles match in there.
Well, you know what? Just because we're getting close to non-Maniac time, I'm going to break the
Okay.
news to you, Mania. Maniac.
Was that right?
Maniac.
Oh no.
You are 100% correct. WrestleMania 16 did
Really?
not feature a traditional male singles match. The WWE's biggest pay-per-view of 2000 was one of the weirder ones. As by the results, there were triple threats, tag matches, and fatal four-ways, but no single matches whatsoever. Triple H was in the main event, though, so I guess this wasn't wasn't in the main event, so whatever. Whatever. You were right, Mania.
Oh, wow.
Mania.
Yeah, he's the Mania.
Mania.
The Mid-Card Mania. Mid-Card Mania is
Okay.
running wild.
So what was the main event of that? Pay-per-view.
That was
Wasn't the four-way?
no, it was.
Oh.
Let me.
Was that a McMahon in every corner?
No, that was. Let me take. Actually, yes, that was McMahon in every corner. Triple H with Stephanie McMahon, The Rock with Mr. McMahon, McFoley with Linda, and Big Show with Shane McMahon.
All right.
What was Stone
there you
Cold
go.
doing at this one?
What
Was he
Stone-
hurt?
He was probably drinking a lot of beer.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
seems weird that he's not in a title match at WrestleMania 2000.
Let me look.
Was that after I got hit by a car and I did it for The Rock deal?
I think so.
That might have been.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah, because didn't that happen
no.
at Survivor Series 99? When he
I
got
believe
hit?
so.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe-
he wasn't on this one. No.
Okay, yeah, that must have been when he was hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, there you go.
I had no idea.
Maniac.
I didn't even know that there was a Mania that did that.
Yeah. WrestleMania 2000 was oddball, but the game was amazing, so that's all that counts. Maniac.
Oh,
Let's go ahead
poor
and
the
hear
game.
your let's go ahead and hear your question to Ransom.
All right, Ransom. Because I know you're such a big Bret Hart fan.
Oh, God.
I want you to name every singles competitor that he won a title from in WWE.
Oh God, that is outstanding.
Now, I will say this. I am not counting his 4th WWE championship because he won that in a fatal 4-way.
Whoa.
So we're not counting that.
Oh, whoa. Holy
So you have,
shit. Is this in
I'll even
just
help you.
WWE?
Yeah, just WWE. I'll even help you out a little bit. You have 2 Intercontinental, 4 WWE championships, and a U.S. championship.
Oh, I know one of the Intercontinentals. Oh no, one from.
Yeah, he won them from.
I think I know one of the Intercontinentals, but I'm out on this one. Ransom, good fucking luck.
Oh my. I can't. Oh. No, I don't have any. Shit. I don't know. I have no idea. Did he beat Shawn Michaels for a title? No.
Nope.
Did he
Michaels beat him for a title
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got a stick in his craw. I have no idea. I don't think I could even make an attempt at this.
All right. You giving up on this one?
Oh yeah, I have no idea. I don't think
All right.
I really followed Bret Hart that closely. I mean,
For
I've
his
got disdain for him.
Yeah, his Intercontinental Championships. First one from Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 91.
Wow.
Then Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8.
Okay. Oh wow.
So those were the 2 Intercontinental.
Piper was going to be my guess.
Yeah. His WWE Championships. First one from Ric Flair in 1992.
Oh yeah.
Won the second one from Yokozuna at WrestleMania 10. Yeah. Third was from Diesel at the 1995 Survivor Series.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The fourth one, I said that we're not counting that one because that was a fatal 4-way. And his 5th WWE Championship he won from The Undertaker at 1997 SummerSlam.
What was the U.S. belt again?
And the United States title he won from The Miz in 2011. I believe it was.
Yeah, he did. That was weird.
I don't even remember that happening.
He held it for a week and then vacated it.
Oh. Shit.
Man,
Oh.
that was you came in with a heavy hitter, Maniac.
Yeah,
Jesus.
right. That would have been that really would have been a good question for Beef, because Beef's a definite Bret Hart fan, and I feel like if he wouldn't have gotten all of them, he probably would have gotten the majority of them, I think.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten.
But,
He would have definitely gotten Piper and Mr. Perfect. And Diesel. He
Yeah.
would have gotten those.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
did you
that's
come up with
tough.
a question for me, dum dum?
I did. Stay off your Google machine, because I know you like to cheat.
I'm not Googling nothing.
Okay, we'll see.
All right.
I want you to name for me the top 3 shortest WWE/F title reigns in history. I want a number 1, number 2, and number 3. Or 3, 2, 1. There you go.
One of them was Bob Backlund. Oh, wait a minute. No. Oh, you're talking total title reigns.
No, I mean like the shortest. So, these 3 wrestlers hold the record for having the shortest title reigns in history.
I think I know one of them.
Not the least amount of titles, the shortest title reigns.
I'm pretty sure I have one of them.
Fuck. Well, one of them is from one of our collar elbow types. It's Yokozuna. Right?
Yes, Yokozuna is number 3 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
I was going to guess that one. Shoot.
Okay.
2 minutes and 6 seconds is his shortest title reign, and he was number 3.
I'm trying to think of
So there's 2 shorter than that?
Yeah, right?
Wow.
I'm trying to think of like Money in the Bank cash-ins.
Oh, yeah, good call, Poot.
I want to say Cena's one of them.
Okay.
Is Cena one of them?
No, I'm not going to tell you until you guess the next one.
Oh fuck, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go with Yokozuna. We've confirmed that one. I'm gonna say John Cena and fuck. Are we counting Universal title, or are we saying Finn Balor?
We're counting Universal titles. We're counting WWE / World Heavyweight
you know what?
/ Universal.
Then I'm gonna say those are gonna be my guesses: Yokozuna, John Cena, Finn Balor.
All right, well, you got Yokozuna.
All right. Can I take a stab?
You can.
Okay, I'm going to go. Didn't Seth Rollins lose it at a Money in the Bank?
He sure did.
He won it, and then he cashed, and Dean Ambrose cashed in or something.
Sure did. Seth Rollins was number 2. He had a 2-minute title reign.
Oh, damn.
Oh, God. Who was number 1? Oh,
This one's a throwback.
Is that wait?
Oh, I got it. Oh my gosh, I got it. I remember this because, oh God, it made me so angry.
Give it to me, Maniac. Help me out.
Andre the Giant.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Andre the Giant forfeited it
When he
to
got the
DiBiase.
title and sold it to DiBiase.
Oh, that's right.
His title reign was 1 minute and 48 seconds.
I didn't think that actually counted. Fuck. That's awesome. That was a good question. And Maniac, thank you very much for pulling my ass out of the fire 2/3 of that.
Yeah.
I do what I can.
That was great, man. Awesome. That was a fun round of
Hot tag trivia.
Hot tag trivia. That was great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Maniac, it's getting long in the tooth for you there, buddy.
It is. I wish I could stay longer. Thank you very much for having me on. I hope I can come back in the future if you'll have me.
We will gladly have you back anytime.
Yeah, you've got some fresh, interesting takes that, it breaks up the mundane of Beef and Poot and I, pretty much just constantly having our usual takes on things. So I like to get a fresh perspective every now and then. So it was nice having you. I appreciate you coming on in such short notice too.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. I honestly thought this day was never going to come.
No, it was great having you on. And I really hope we can have you on again soon for a little bit longer and for something a little more solidified, because we admittedly have been cattywampus the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing before I go.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking a crack at this. So bear with me. If I screw it up, just edit it out and do it later.
All right.
With one of you guys. We here at the P3 Podcast would like to thank our sponsors, Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom and Gould Gaming. Check out his stuff. And also Mr. Sean Tischler at IWC. Keep that independent wrestling going. Thank you very much. I'm the MidCard Maniac. Have a good night listening to these two dum-dums.
That was a better sponsor promo than I ever could have given.
I wish you could see my face. I'm literally like happy, weird grinning ear to ear. That was amazing. Thank you.
Well, when it comes out, I hope it makes the podcast.
It will. I'm not going to edit a goddamn thing on this. Hey, Maniac, thank you so much for coming out and doing this. Seriously.
All right. Thank you, Alec Ransom. Thank you, Poot the Bard. I can't wait to hear it when it hits the internet.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks, man. Have a great night.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you. You too. Good night.
I enjoyed that. That was really awesome.
That was very, very cool. That was very cool.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. So
And he took his leave, and just like that, a thief in the night. He comes in, causes some chaos, and leaves. I love it.
oh, it's like
Very
Stone
cool.
Cold Steve Austin. Arrive, raise hell, leave.
That pretty much. I love it. Dude, he's awesome.
I enjoy the MidCard Maniac. I would definitely enjoy having him on, again in the future. Because like I said, I think he's definitely got some fresh takes on some things. So
Yeah, man. And I really hope next time we have him on, he can be here a little bit, a tad bit longer.
yeah, well, that was, I feel like that was on me because I just happened to think about it the other night when, we were talking and Tiger Bomb Tom was going to be doing his thing. Beef was going to be out doing his thing. And I thought, well, it'd be neat if we could get a guest on just to, bounce some stuff off of with the two of us. And I thought, oh shit, the Maniac's always sending in some really awesome questions. So maybe I'll reach out to him and just, and I appreciate him making it work too on such short notice.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I really didn't give him a whole lot of notice.
Well, no, and he was very gracious to do that. So, Maniac, again, we said it 5 times just a few minutes ago, but like we really appreciate you doing that and everything. But Ransom, before we get to our picks,
Uh-oh.
for Payback, and then also for whatever they're calling the Tuesday episode of NXT.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
that one match, which, by the way, that is the silver lining to the cloud of Karrion Kross getting injured. I'm very I'm so disappointed because it seems like we're in a time in the past, maybe 2-3 years, where wrestlers seem to be getting injured at very inopportune times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I with this one, I can't help but think back. This really reminds me of the first Universal title reign and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known what could have been with him.
Well, and I do too, and I think the entire wrestling world, or at least WWE fans, think that as well. But in a weird roundabout way, we're getting the Prince in NXT. And
That's true.
And he's doing, man, Finn Balor is in his element. He is absolutely in his element on NXT. Like,
Yeah. I'm getting some echo whenever I'm talking. Are you hearing that?
That might
your
be,
end, or is that just me?
No, that's just you. I apologize if it's a pain in the ass. Again, folks out there, he wasn't faffing around when he said, I'm trying some new stuff here on this this episode of the podcast to ease my editing chicanery going on, because it's a long process, because my computer is not meant for some of the stuff that I'm doing. But yeah,
So here's the thing. I had a fire call that night, and I was out for, when did I leave? I left my house right at the beginning of the Sasha Asuka match.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't see that or anything that came after it. So when you were talking about the disappointment you had with the Keith Lee Karrion Kross match, I was interested on your take in that, because I didn't see that match and I didn't go back and watch it. I just saw that he had won, and I thought, oh, okay, great. He won the title. We all figured that was going to happen. But I'm going to have to go back and watch, because I want to try to see if I can find the point in the match where he gets hurt and things start to go awry.
There definitely is a point in the match where it's like, it's very clear that he got injured.
Okay.
At least from my recollection. I would like to go back and watch it as well, because like it was just one of those things that you go like, man, these guys could do so much better. And the build was, like I said, the build was magic. It was leading up to something really special. And, here's the cool thing too. Do yourself a favor, Ransom, and any of you folks out there who may or may not watch NXT on the regular, seriously, go and watch Karrion Kross's promo where he has to give up the belt, because even in having to give up the belt to injury, he does it in a very strong fashion.
Okay. Does he break character? And, you know how like when some wrestlers either get hurt or something happens,
It's
they kind of break character. If they're a heel, they're like, oh, well, thank you. And
no,
okay.
the way he does it, I can equate it to a Coliseum fighter admitting defeat, temporary defeat.
Oh, good.
It's a Spartan admitting temporary defeat.
Okay.
It was just really good. And Karrion Kross, is he the best worker in the world? I mean, he's good, but I mean, he's not Adam Cole good. He's not Shawn Michaels good. He's not Finn Balor good, but he's solid. The thing that makes him special is his ability to tell a story in the ring and his ability to cut just the best promos. You know what I mean? Like, and plus having Scarlett on his arm as the kind of voiceless entity with him, like the whole package is perfect. And he doesn't break character and do the, hey, thank you all for letting me have this and I'm putting this down to, no, it's like him going, you just go back and watch it. It's incredible.
I will, yeah.
And
I'll say this: I feel like there's a silver lining with him, with this situation taking place now in NXT. I feel like he has a better chance of healing up, rehabbing, coming back, and taking that title off of it. Doesn't matter who has it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I don't think he's going to get the Finn Balor treatment where Balor was the first ever Universal Champion. And never even, like, when he came back from his injury, never even got like a, hey, I'm back. I won the title. I never lost it. I'm invoking my rematch clause. Like, I'm back to win this Universal title. It just seems like he never got there. Like, when he came back, it was just, I'm back. I'm in mid-card obscurity, and
yeah, and
I'm chasing it, but I'm never getting there.
Well, and that's the problem with the culture of the main roster versus NXT, is because in NXT it's like, okay, you got injured, shit happens. Don't worry. We're going to stay the course with you. But on the main
there's
roster,
always a spot left.
On the main roster, it's just like, well, you got hurt, too bad, kid. You're a liability, and
sorry, we're moving on. Like, it doesn't matter that you were the first ever Universal Champion. Nope, doesn't matter. You're out.
Well, and
we clearly saw something in you for us to want to crown you as the first ever Universal Champion. So we clearly saw something there. But hey, you got hurt. People forgot about you. Someone else is up on the top of the ladder now. Start over, kid.
Well, and to be fair, it is. I mean, that's kind of the nature of the beast with the way it works between the two brands. You have a little more flexibility in NXT. However, digressing a little bit, the silver lining is that we are getting a 60-minute Iron Man match this coming Tuesday, September. Would it be September 1st, Tuesday, September 1st? Yes, sir. Tuesday, September 1st. We're getting an Iron Man match between Johnny Gargano, okay, or Gargano, whatever you want to say, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, baby, and Tommaso Ciampa. I want you to think about this. You can't pick 4 better guys to do an Iron Man match for the NXT Championship.
Yep.
And the best part is they hammered in the fact that they were all former champions. So before we get into the Payback picks, let's knock this one out. And I'll tell you what, I will start, since I'm also going to be scribe. So as a show of good faith, I will go ahead and be first as well. For this one, my thoughts, I hate to say this because I love Johnny Gargano, but I don't feel like Johnny's going to get that belt. I feel like it's in my mind. Here's my thought process. Finn Balor would be great because just imagine the promos he'll cut saying how good he is, saying he's doing everything that he was going to do, and having a run with that belt, and then having the potential to have, whenever Karrion Kross comes back, Kross takes the belt off him. He's not going to do it with Finn Balor. He's going to do it with the Demon. You know what I mean? Like, This is an opportunity to eventually have Finn Balor bring out the Demon and then have Karrion Kross beat the Demon. Hoo boy. The other thought process is have Adam Cole get the belt and have him just do his Adam Cole thing. I feel like that's the least likely of the three. But then the other one is, too, have Tommaso Ciampa get the belt. He was Karrion Kross's first victim, aside from, first legitimate victim. And he housed Ciampa. Just housed him. And we've never seen Ciampa get housed like that, ever. So, I think, honestly, my pick is going to be Ciampa. Because I think it will tell a good story. I think having the whole Goldie thing being back will be great. And then whenever Karrion Kross is healthy, have Karrion Kross lean on the fact that he put Tommaso Ciampa down like a dog in under 5 minutes. Ciampa barely got any offense on Karrion Kross. And it'll be kind of like Ciampa builds himself up, calls, the title Goldie, runs roughshod on the roster, and then Karrion Kross comes back and just rips that belt from his arms.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. My turn?
Yep.
All right. So I would say that I feel like the least likely person to win that title would be Johnny Gargano. I don't know why. I feel like that time has come and gone. And he's just, I don't know. I just don't feel like there's a story there. There very well could be, but I don't see a story there. I feel like the next least likely possibility would be Adam Cole, just because I think when he lost the title, I can feel like that was kind of like his sunset with that title. And I believe it's probably only a matter of time. What's that?
I get that.
Okay. So and I think it's only a matter of time before the Undisputed Era either gets called up to the main roster, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for Adam Cole to be champion at that point. And I don't think that they're going to put the title on him just to be a transitional champion. Or I think it's a matter of time. I think I saw an article, and again, internet, who knows, but I saw an article that said that, that somebody believes that they're teasing an Undisputed Era breakup.
Yeah, I get that. I also can see that. Because a lot of the Undisputed Era are starting to not act autonomously, but they're acting separate from Adam Cole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know if it would make a whole lot of sense for it to go back on him just for him to be I feel like there's other stories for them to tell with Adam Cole. So I would say it would be a toss-up between Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa. Now, I decided this before you made your pick, so I'm not piggybacking off of you. I agree with what you said about Finn Balor, and it would be neat to see the Demon versus Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
And the reason I think it's going to be Ciampa is I was a little surprised that he didn't make a guest appearance in that match between Karrion Kross and what the heck's his name? I forgot.
Keith Lee.
Yeah, Keith Lee. Jeez. I thought that there might have been some chicanery there. I thought that maybe Tommaso Ciampa comes back at the end of that to start up a feud with Karrion Kross. Like I felt like that was the natural progression. Like if Ciampa's back, he's good to go. I felt like that was going to be the right setup. A Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa feud. So
Right.
I'm going to pick Ciampa for that reason, because I feel like that was the way that they were probably going to go. Again, could be dead wrong. But I felt like that was a natural progression. Okay, Karrion Kross beats Keith Lee. Tommaso Ciampa's back. They're going to start a feud.
Right.
Whether Tommaso Ciampa beats him for the title, I didn't see that happening, but I saw that feud going on. So I'm thinking maybe the logical progression now is, okay, we're going to put it on Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to hold it until Karrion Kross comes back, and when Karrion Kross comes back, that's when they're going to pick that feud up.
All right.
Tommaso Ciampa's my pick.
Yeah, Ciampa seems like and the thing with NXT, whenever we say like Ciampa seems like the pick that makes sense. I mean, he really does. And we can say that and go like they might do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Versus main roster. All right, let's move on to Payback here.
No.
First match here is the Boss and Hug connection, but we can't really call him Boss and Hug because heel Bayley. It's Bayley and Sasha Banks, which are the tag champions, versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Wait, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax? I thought it was Shayna Baszler and Asuka.
No, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Oh, boy.
Yup. Ransom, you're up on this one, buddy.
So
that gap of silence is always so telling.
yeah. So I think I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but this is my first instinct, and I'm going to go with it.
All right.
I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax winning. Pardon me. And my rationale in that is, since what's her face? I'm having a real hard time with names tonight. Dang it, Sasha. Since Sasha lost her title, I feel like this is the opportunity for there to be some dissension between those two, between the girl version of Best Friends. I feel like this will be the match where they lose the tag team titles. It starts some dissension. Now Sasha has no titles. Bayley's still a champion. Things implode. And that sets up the Bayley-Sasha feud. Whether Bayley turns back into a face because she's wronged by Sasha, or Sasha turns back face because reasons. But that's my gut instinct is they lose the tag team titles here. And this begins the downfall of that team, which will eventually lead, and I don't know when that's going to happen, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. I can't imagine they drag it out the whole way to Mania. But my thought is this is where it sets up the feud between Bayley and Sasha, and that relationship breaks down. I really feel like it's run its course. Maybe the powers that be in WWE don't see that, but I feel like it's run its course by now. That's my rationale.
You absolutely, Ransom, I'm going to make this short and sweet. If you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, I'm going to stack mine right on top of it because I'm saying the same thing. This is it. They're gonna keep rolling on this. They're gonna both lose their tag belts, and then Bayley will be the only title holder, and they're gonna move forward with it. You know what I mean? They're gonna just go full bore on this, and it's gonna make WWE a lot of money because Bayley and Sasha Banks feuding is just pure money. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm also choosing Shayna and Nia Jax. All right.
For some reason, I thought it was Shayna and Asuka, and I was going to be a lot more confident in saying, yeah, Shayna and Asuka are going to take those tag titles. That's where I started to have second thoughts when it was Shayna and Nia Jax instead of Shayna and Asuka. But I'm sticking with it.
I'll take it. So we got to move on here. The next set, or the next match here is for the U.S. Championship, okay? This is going to be Apollo Crews, who is the current champion, versus Bobby Lashley. Now it's my turn to go first, and Apollo Crews defeated MVP to win that belt, actually, right?
Well, wasn't there some tomfoolery where he didn't show up and MVP said that he was the champion, but he never actually beat him?
There was chicanery afoot. But
Okay.
Honestly, I unless they're gonna put stock into Crews, like really put stock into Crews and make him look dominant, I don't see a world where he beats Bobby Lashley. So, I'm going to go with, unless there's some chicanery and tomfuckery happening with interference and stuff, I really see Lashley walking away with this one. And then I see an incident like the Maniac brought up earlier with the belt being handed over. I could see Lashley winning that belt and then handing it to MVP.
Ooh,
I could.
I didn't even think of that.
I could see that being a thing. So I'm gonna, even if it's just on Lashley, I'm gonna go with Lashley on this one. I love Apollo Crews, and he deserves so much better. But I'm gonna go with Lashley on this one.
I'm gonna agree with you. And again, it's not that I'm piggybacking off of you. I have two schools of thought on this. One, he's going to lose it to Lashley because I don't know why, but there are times where WWE seems to be super high on Bobby Lashley. I can't explain it. I don't get it. But it seems like it happens. So I think my gut instinct is that Lashley beats him. I don't know about handing over any titles. Since you mentioned that, I could really see that happening. But I feel like Lashley takes it from him. The other side of that is, and I don't think I convinced myself enough to go with this scenario, but the second scenario I have is, okay, he beats MVP, he beats Bobby Lashley. At the next event, he takes on the third member of that group, Shelton Benjamin. And for some reason, Shelton Benjamin is the one that takes it from him. Because I think my problem is I'm trying to apply logic to WWE thinking. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to try to be building this stable of these three guys, making them legit badasses, but having Apollo Crews consistently beat each one of them in clean matches.
Well,
that doesn't do anything to build that stable.
Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin are the Hurt Business, correct?
Yeah.
The Hurt Business. They're courting right now. What was the one guy that was in the Cruiserweight division? He's hanging out with Ricochet right now. Man, yeah. Now, see, it
wasn't the guy behind like the screens promo.
No. It wasn't Ali. It was the other fella.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. But they're basically what I'm saying, and despite the fact that both of us are being terrible with names tonight, they're courting another member. So your logic is true, and I could see them holding off, letting Crews have a little bit more of a run, and then having Shelton Benjamin get it through some fuckery. But I mean, Bobby Lashley, I'm sorry, if anyone in that stable, again, there's so many people involved with this little story with the U.S. belt that deserves so much better. Like, yeah. Really. Like, I remember when Bobby Lashley re-debuted, immediately everyone was like, holy fuck, it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Brock Lesnar. Like, we're going to have this happen. They're going to make him $1 million, and they drop the ball with him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like, there's so many people involved with this right now that it's hard to apply logic simply for the fact that it's just kind of like everyone got kind of left in the
afterthought.
Yeah, like,
Almost said
it's
afterbirth,
sad.
but that's not right.
But so you're going with you're going to go with Lashley on this one.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think if they're going to make this stable, these guys legit, they need to have an unstoppable powerhouse in that stable. And of any of them, Shelton Benjamin's the technical one. Bobby Lashley would be the powerhouse. MVP would be the mic guy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like if they're going to do justice to this stable, they'll make Bobby Lashley that powerhouse of the stable and just start to have him run through people. MVP gets down in their face and screams at them after Bobby Lashley destroys them. And Shelton Benjamin just has, great technical matches.
I agree. And they have a lot of money right now because the Hurt Business is a great stable.
I feel like it is. I feel like they've got the possibility to have some really decent longevity out of this stable, and I hope they stick with their guns. I hope they do. Because it would suck for them to create this stable. It's around for 3-4 months, and then it's just gone. Like, why? Why invest the time?
Right. Speaking of why invest the time, our next match is going to be a little bit of a linchpin match here. I think this is one that we all might differ on, or we might all go the same route. This is for the Universal Championship. It is a triple threat match. It is The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Now, and this is showing my cards here, because I set myself up that I looked at this and I went, yep, I'm going to be picking first on this one. I'm torn because I want the WWE to put faith in keeping the Fiend strong. However, this thought process can go one of two ways. Either Strowman is there to eat the pin from Roman so that Roman can get the belt and run tweener heel roughshod on everyone and just have the belt but keep the Fiend looking strong because the Fiend didn't actually lose the belt. Or Strowman is there to eat the pin from the Fiend to keep Roman looking strong and the Fiend to have the belt and then have Roman chase it because the money's in the chase. So, I don't know. This is hard.
Yeah.
This is a hard call. And I know easily this could cost me the Cruiserweight Championship.
So while you're thinking about this, can I weigh in my 2 cents, or would you rather I not?
For love of God, please weigh in your 2 cents.
Okay. So for what it's worth, I definitely don't believe it's going to be Braun Strowman walking away with this title. I really just don't. So with that being said, I feel like it could go one of two ways. I feel like it could go exactly what you said, where the Fiend wins by beating Braun Strowman, and that gives Roman Reigns the argument of saying, you didn't beat me, I'm the big dog, I'm back. I have a legit argument for why I should be the number one contender. And that sets up that feud. And this is where I'm torn, because my gut says, pardon me. Well, it says that too. But it says Roman's back, Vince McMahon boner, Roman gets the title. And I don't really care who he pins. In the end, I think it sucks for the Fiend to have this title for a week and lose it. Doesn't matter if he eats the pin or not. I still feel like that's an injustice to that character. Like, great, why did you bother putting it on him for a week just to have it then transition to Roman Reigns? Now, where I struggle is I feel like everybody in creative would expect the WWE Universe to predict that Roman Reigns walks away with that title. Like, I feel like that's the general expectation. Roman's back. He's going to win the title. So where I struggle with is, does WWE not give a crap and go, it's Roman Reigns, of course he's going to get the title. It doesn't matter if everybody expects it. He's going to get it because he's Roman Reigns. Or does WWE say, everybody expects Roman Reigns to get it, so let's not give it to him? That's where I'm torn on this. So I agree with you. It's either going to be The Fiend or Roman Reigns. I cannot see a scenario where Braun Strowman walks out with that title.
What's our next big pay-per-view? Survivor Series?
I have no idea. You have the computer in front of you. What does it list out? What the next pay-per-view is?
I don't know. I don't have that pulled up right now.
Let me see if I can.
I was gonna say I'm putting a lot of stress on my computer. I got my phone. Hold on. You can see how well we prepare for these things, folks.
Right.
WWE PPV schedule 2020. Hell in a Cell Takeover War Games 4, which is going to be awesome. But our next big one,
Clash of Champions.
well, that's not really a big one. Like,
Well, that's going to be the next pay-per-view. So
we have Survivor Series is the next one that's like really big keynote, like traditional one.
when is that?
That is November
October?
November 22nd.
Oh, November.
And then TLC is 2 days before Christmas.
So we're going to have something in between Clash of Champions, which is September 27th,
No, you
and
have
Survivor Series, which is November.
Yeah, you have Hell in a Cell November 1st.
There's nothing in October?
No.
Wow.
Weirdly enough, you would think that they would want to move. Well, I mean, Hell in a Cell is on All Saints Day. You gotta love that. That's why this is tough for me, because dude, this is so hard, because my gut is actually saying The Fiend, because it's almost like Roman's back. He has that shirt on that says, wreck everyone and leave. And he's healing up and everything. But if it wasn't Roman Reigns, I would say it would be whoever would be in his place would win that belt, just so that The Fiend could look strong in a loss. I think, you know what? Just to keep things interesting, I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say The Fiend retains by pinning Strowman. Oh, God.
We don't have, I mean, you could throw that in there, but I don't think this.
Well, we have our chance.
Winners.
We have our chance at the end of picks to hey, the last call for alcohol.
Yeah.
So I could
what I'm
change
saying
my
is, I don't
mind.
think it matters who, for pick wise, I don't think it matters who eats the pin.
No, it doesn't matter who eats the pin, but because honestly, Strowman's going to eat that pin, which is ridiculous because Strowman deserves better than that. But he fits in the storyline, unfortunately. But I'm going to say Fiend retains. For now, I'm saying Fiend retains. And then Roman chases until Survivor Series.
That's interesting. Okay.
Right?
So I'm going to say Roman Reigns because, well, I guess that's my gut instinct is him.
And it's a good gut instinct.
And I guess another thing that's making me say Roman Reigns and not The Fiend is that I don't know what it is, but I feel like WWE just doesn't see The Fiend in that championship picture. I don't know why. I can't explain that. Maybe it's because on so many weekly programs, it's a Firefly Funhouse. So they're not going to want to have the belt on him because their plan for him is let him come out and wrestle big matches at pay-per-views, and weekly, let's let him do Firefly Funhouses or, goofy little promo things here and there. But let's save the actual matches for pay-per-views. And I think if that's their line of thinking, they're not going to want the belt on him.
I would think you would want the belt on him at that point. If the only time you're going to see him actually wrestle is on pay-per-views, keeping the belt limited. I didn't like seeing the belt every single week defended.
Yeah,
I liked a little bit of
understand.
mythos, but they're still there. They're still present. It's not like Brock Lesnar syndrome.
Right, but I guess part of me feels like, okay, if they're going to keep the belt off of TV, at least in actual matches, they're gonna save that for a Brock Lesnar. Like, that's going to be his shtick. Is he has the belt and he only comes around every once in a while. Like, that's the Brock Lesnar. Like, if you're going to call doing that with the belt something, you're going to call that the Brock Lesnar. So I feel like they're going to reserve that gimmick for him and not the Fiend. I agree that it elevates that mystique of that character and that title, not having it constantly show up on TV, whether it's in a match or like in an actual in-ring promo or whatever. I agree that it lends credence to that, but I don't know. I feel like, okay, Roman's back, so that means Roman gets the belt. And there will be a new challenger for Roman Reigns come Clash of Champions, and the Fiend will do something different. Like, he'll just be off in a different feud, another feud, just not championship material.
That's fair.
I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really do. Like, it's going against what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping the Fiend retains that because I feel like the Fiend as the champion is a good thing for that character. But my gut feeling says it's not meant to be.
Well, and the other thing is there's going to be a huge uproar. Actually, I don't think there will be as huge of an uproar if the Fiend loses the belt because people are going to just say, told you so.
Yep.
And that's the problem. Like, yeah, if they make Roman a heel, yeah, it'll be interesting, but it'll still be like, hey, you kind of still fucked over this guy.
Yes.
So.
And I feel like that might even lead credence to the Roman Reigns heel gimmick.
I would love if Beef in his picks chose Strowman. I would love that because it would be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know what world, though, I don't know what line of thinking Beef could get himself into
and
to legitimize picking Strowman. I don't know.
Picking the Fiend is not even so much because I'm a Bray Wyatt fanboy and a Fiend fanboy. It's just, I just hope that they make Roman chase. Unless they're going to make him a pure heel, you have to make him chase that belt. The money's in the chase. And especially taking down the Fiend, if they keep the belt on that Fiend even just for a little bit and have him just destroy everyone, it will lend credence to the Fiend. It will lend credence to Roman Reigns being a legitimate competitor. It's a little bit of a longer play, and I know it's gonna bite me in the ass for picking the Fiend, but I'm gonna stick with the Fiend. Next match. Go ahead.
Sorry, this would be the last thing I say on it because I really don't want to drag it out. But I guess another thing that's pulling me towards Roman Reigns was before this COVID thing happened, it was going to be Roman Reigns versus Goldberg at Mania, and Roman Reigns was going to beat him. So I feel like WWE is saying, okay, we're picking up with Roman Reigns where we left off. He was supposed to beat Goldberg. COVID happened. He was going to be our champion. But we had to call an audible and put it on Strowman because COVID. Well, now that Roman Reigns is back, we're going to pick up right where we left off. Doesn't matter who the champion is. We wanted Roman. He was going to be our guy against Goldberg, so he's going to be our guy now. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really do. Like, Cruiserweight Championship aside, I'm hoping that the Fiend wins. But WWE seems to have this boner for Roman. And with him supposed to have taken it from Goldberg at Mania, I see them just slotting him right back in.
Honestly, with good cause, because admittedly, like taking everything out of it, like Roman is good, man. Like, I mean, you can't, come on. Like, he's a good locker room leader. He's good in the ring. He's put on a lot of good matches. And before he went away, he was a lot of fun. Like,
yeah, like he's the guy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can't fault that, but like, I think also the other thing is too, I think the rest of these picks might be really clear. So I don't I don't want to have us all pick samesies, because I don't want to have this be a wash. Anyway, even if that means throwing myself on the sword. Next match, Keith Lee, the awesome Keith Lee, in my opinion, bask in his glory, versus Randall Keith Orton, just in a singles match. I think it. Well, you know what, Ransom, you're first on this one.
So, again, I'm torn between trying to think logically and going with my gut. My gut says Keith Lee, because he's just debuting on the roster. You want him to, in his debut pay-per-view event on the main roster, you want him to be strong. But my only hesitation is he's going up against Randy Orton. And Randy Orton just lost to Drew McIntyre. So, are they going to have him eat a pin twice in 2 pay-per-views, back-to-back, a week apart? That's where I struggle. But I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say Keith Lee. But this is another one where, if I don't know, this is a toss-up for me. I'm torn.
I am also going to follow suit. I'm going to say Lee, because it doesn't make sense to have Keith Lee lose. Like, and I don't need to go into, no, I don't need to go into any big ridiculous thing. I think it would do well for Keith Lee and give him a big rub towards being legitimized on the main roster. And it would also do well for heel Orton and pushing him further into insanity. Having him lose again. Like seriously. I mean, you have someone come out, debut, and then have them lose right away. That I'm sorry. We all at this point know Keith Lee and what he's capable of. To have him lose to Randy Orton, I'm sorry. It just it deflates the wind out of his sails. Yeah, it does.
For debuting. But at the same token, as I've read rumors where they want to possibly turn Keith Lee heel. And if they're going to do that, could it possibly be a complete swap where, Keith Lee goes into this match the face and Randy Orton goes into this match the heel? They're not going to do a double flip in this match.
They're not going to do a double swap on Orton and Lee. I don't see it being that. It doesn't make sense with people loving Keith Lee the way they do to immediately turn him heel.
Well,
I know, but like, come on. It's just like Keith, like you gotta.
I'm just saying, how long is it going to be?
Win.
Well, I mean, we would think that, but they've already changed his attire. They've already changed his music.
Well, there's reasons for that.
How long is it going to be? Well, I'm just saying. Look at the NXT guys that have come up. How long is it going to be? Do you want to wager me a bet how long it's going to be before he's either just Keith or he's either just Lee?
I don't think they'll do that with Keith Lee.
They love to do that, though.
I know
Andrade, Alexander Rusev, Antonio Cesaro, like all those guys.
Yeah, but Antonio Cesaro and Alexander Rusev didn't work. I'm sorry. I think those were good reductions.
All right. I mean, it turned out to be that way. But it seems like there's always some sort of like, well, we can't have you, the Viking Raiders. We can't have you come up from NXT and keep the same exact thing. We got to change something.
Well, and the whole thing with Keith Lee's music goes a little bit deeper than just them changing things errantly. It actually has to do with CFO's publishers like deal. Apparently, CFO's publishers get 50% of the royalties.
Oh my.
Yeah, like, so it's a fucky deal. And because of this deal, like, actually there was a brief time where WWE was trying, like, CFO, they were in talks, like, trying to figure it out. And CFO said, buy us out of our current contract and we'll come work for you and only you. Or CFO money, CFO $, or whatever they're called. But CFO, like, they said to WWE, buy us out of our contract and we'll come work for you and write all your music. Basically, they would be the new Jim Jones.
Yes.
Like, solely
Jim
in-house.
Johnson?
Yeah, Jim Johnson. Thank you, Jim Johnson. They would be the sole Jim Johnson. That's basically what they would have been, is in-house production. And it just fell through and it didn't work out. So WWE went to their talent and said, we strongly advise you, not you have to, but we strongly advise you, if you have a CFO theme, to change it. And so Keith Lee went, all right. And as far as his ring gear goes, which is weird ring gear, that apparently wasn't, like, that was also his choice, supposedly. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. Because honestly, like, if anyone doesn't know Keith Lee, they'll see what he does in the ring and they'll get it. Like, it'll be fine. Like, it's all gonna be fine. And Keith Lee's even come out and said, listen, it was out of my hands. I'm sorry. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. Like, to everyone, including myself, who was up in arms. Hell, I made a meme about it, for God's sake. But yeah, so we're both going Lee on that one. Let's move on. This next one is a tag match, and it's a continuation of the admittedly pretty good story they're telling between Seth Rollins and his wayward home for Flippy Boys and the Familia de Mysterio. This is going to be a tag match. It's Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. Proving your point, by the way, he was Buddy Murphy. Now he's just Murphy. Yep. I'm up on this one. I think this is going to be the first win for Familia de Mysterio. I'm going with Dominic and Rey on this one. I don't see the reason to have Team God Complex go over so much without any kind of win from the Mysterio clan. So I'm just going with Dominic and Rey because I feel like they're due. It doesn't have to be the end of the story. I just feel like they're due. So for me, Team Mysterio.
Dominic lost to Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say the Mysterios as well. I feel like this is going to be the point where the Messiah complex gets their comeuppance. It would shock me to have them beat the Mysterios so much. I don't see any point in that, so.
Yeah. And then the final match, and this is not at all obviously a main event, but these were in no particular order. Matt Riddle versus versus King Corbin. It's kind of an oddball match Maybe I should have spaced these out better so that the title matches were later and the picks were later. Whatever, I don't care. I just went down the list. Whatever. Yeah, Ransom, you're up on this one. Matt Riddle versus King Corbin.
I'm going to say Matt Riddle. I don't know why, but I feel like it would be good for him to win.
You're going to go with Riddle?
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, and admittedly, fully admitting, because I've been, first of all, busy. Second of all, nursing a hurt back. Third of all, a little bit of ennui from a lot of other things from real life, causing a little bit of ennui in my life. But this, like, I don't know the thread that's going on really here other than Matt Riddle being chill and King Corbin being all uptight and shit. Just to keep things interesting, I'm going to go with Corbin. I don't know the win-loss record. I'm just doing it to keep things interesting, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, that so far is the list of matches that are on this pay-per-view.
Is there supposed to be an AJ Styles match?
I don't think so. I think we talked about that in the last podcast. So far, those are the announced matches as of the recording of this podcast. Is 6 matches. I don't have anything else that I can see. So right now,
AJ Styles the Intercontinental Champion? Who's the Intercontinental Champion?
Who? Damn you, Ransom! Like, okay, hold on. Current. That shows how bad they've mishandled the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, we don't. I'm sure Beef knows, but I don't. I have no idea.
No, and I know it makes us look like, oh, they don't fucking care about the product or blah 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 blah. It's not that. It's just like there's so much. Like, think about, okay, the amount of wrestling that we watch to do this. We watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, and then we try and keep up on other, like, whatnot, what have yous. Let me take a look here. No, the Intercontinental Champion is Jeff Hardy.
Oh, that's right. Did he beat AJ Styles at SummerSlam?
No.
Wasn't that one of the matches at SummerSlam? Hardy versus AJ Styles?
No. No. No, that wasn't one of the matches. Good Lord, no. Wasn't it? No, that wasn't one of the matches. Let me look again. I had the matches pulled up here. I don't care who the commentators were for that. Shut up, you. No, that was not one of the matches. I was like, was it? And it certainly was not. On the card, no. Wasn't it? Wait, wasn't... What was the pre-show card? Was there a pre-show card? Let me see pre-show card.
And there's not a WWE tag team match at this event
that
either,
was
is there?
the MVP through Cruz around and shit. Cruz escaped. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that wasn't on there. Was that on a Raw?
God, what a mess WWE is, or what a mess this podcast is. It could be one of the two. All right.
It's hard to follow the insanity. But in any case, so at this Payback event, there's not an Intercontinental title match, at least yet.
No.
And there's not a tag team title match, at least yet.
Nope.
That seems weird.
Well, a lot of things seem... listen, I'm going to chalk it up to it being 2020.
Well, fair enough.
All right. So we're going to throw this out there. Last call for alcohol. Ready? I'm going to run them down individually. We can see if we each want to change. Okay? Once I go past a match, it's locked in. Okay?
Okay.
NXT Iron Man match. We both picked Ciampa. Yes?
Locked in.
Locked in myself. All right. Boston Hug versus Shayna and Jax for the women's championship. We both picked Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Locked in?
Locked in.
Locked in. Cruz versus Lashley for the U.S. title. I picked Lashley. You picked Lashley. Locked in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Keith Lee versus Randall Keith Orton, which I think it's funny. They're both Keiths. We both picked Keith Lee. Locked?
Yeah, I'm locking that in.
Okay. Familia de Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and his Wayward Home for Flippy Boys. We both picked Familia de Mysterio.
Yes.
Matt Riddle versus King Corbin. I picked Corbin. You picked Matt Riddle.
I'm going to stick with Riddle.
You're going to stick with Riddle?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to stick with Corbin because I'm an asshole. And then the last one here, The Fiend versus Roman versus Strowman for the Universal Championship. By the way, I feel like there's something I'm not quoting about this. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Here's the other factor, and this is why we do this. I'm glad we do this. Not only is this a triple threat match, it is a no-holds-barred triple threat match.
Oh, boy. Who did I pick? Roman? Yeah, I picked Roman. I'm still going to stick with Roman.
I picked The Fiend.
I don't think the stipulations matter. I think it's still going to be Roman.
My gut is screaming at me now to pick Roman.
I mean, honestly, I don't think the no holds barred really matters because in a triple threat match, there's no disqualifications anyway. So even if somebody did bust out the kendo stick or a table or a chair, there's no countouts, there's no DQs in a triple threat match. So I don't know why they have that stipulation specified in there anyway. Now, if it was a falls count anywhere, that's a different story. Am I thinking correctly on that? Because there's no DQs in triple threat matches.
No. Well, I mean, it's not that there's no DQs. It's that yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Because triple threat matches always.
You have to win by pinfall or submission. There's no countouts. There's no DQs.
Oh, fuck. Huh.
Unless I'm completely off on how the rules work, but I don't think so.
I feel like that rule is very fluid. It is whenever they want it to be, and it's not when they don't.
Yeah.
You know what? Even though I'm gonna lose my lead on this, I just know it. I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. I'm sticking with The Fiend.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think it could be a toss-up between Roman and The Fiend. So I really don't think that you're necessarily shooting yourself in the foot in this. Because I believe what you say whenever you say the money's in the chase. And they could have The Fiend win, and they could have Roman chase that belt until the next big one.
I just feel like
Survivor Series or Hell in a Cell.
I feel like it's so irresponsible of them. And I don't want to say it's predictable. I don't want to say, oh, Roman's back, he wins, blah, blah, blah. I want to say it is irresponsible of them to do that. Because all it does is affirm everything we've been saying for years.
Yep.
And I really, really, really hope that someone is in Vince's ear saying, don't do it.
Yeah.
I hope Triple H is in there just going, Dad,
yeah.
I need you to do me a favor. What's that? What? I need you to just let Bray keep that belt for another month and a half there, Dad. Like, I just hope, because if they're going to do that to Bray Wyatt, even having Strowman in there to keep The Fiend strong, okay, but that's very weak unless you're going to have Bray Wyatt overcome Roman. Now, we could be sitting here and we're criticizing WWE, but we're sitting here I'm sitting here hemming and hawing over it. You know?
No, I agree. And my thing is that I'm picking Roman to win but I want the Fiend to win. I do. I want that character to be legitimized. I want him to be the next Phenom. I really do. I really want the Fiend to work. It's such a unique character. And I feel like they could really go the distance with him. But since he debuted, I haven't gotten that from that character.
But the
yeah,
problem
he's had
is,
some wins. He even had a title, and he made the title look like the Fiend mask. So yeah, but I don't know. I feel like they could do better.
The thing is, it is, in my opinion, it is working, and it worked, but they just threw it all to the side when something else came up that they went, ooh, shiny. It's almost like ADD, you know?
Yes.
And
they're not willing to go guns blazing on the Fiend.
Absolutely. But anyway.
And I feel like they should. I feel like they should say, okay, look, we want this guy. We're not trying to replicate what The Undertaker had. You know, we don't want him to be Undertaker 2.0. We don't want there to be any sort of streak. But I really want the Fiend to be the next Phenom of the WWE. But, you know, I don't know. What I want doesn't matter. And they might have a very good reason for not doing that. You know, they don't want to try to make him Undertaker light. So I can see them not doing that, but dang it, that's what I want. I want him to be that mystical character.
I agree.
The guy that everybody fears.
And they had and they still, if they played all of their cards right, and they started to over the past couple weeks, you could build that. And people are clamoring for it. Like you even said, you want it. Just let it happen. Bray's a creative guy. He's a good worker. He has an incredible mind for the business. And at this point, this is where Beef would bring up, yeah, but he's a philanderer, so.
Well, I don't give a crap about that.
Yeah,
I don't. People's personal life is their own.
It's separated.
Unless they're pulling a Jeff Hardy where they're putting other people in risk. You know what I mean? Like,
it's separating.
That's between you and your significant other. That's between, what's his name? Something Rotunda.
Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah, that's between Wyndham Rotunda and his wife. Honestly, you know, like I don't condone that behavior. I don't condone that behavior in my personal life. But when I'm watching wrestling, that's between Wyndham Rotunda and his wife. He's not putting me or any other fans at risk. He's not driving drunk. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a clear difference between what Jeff Hardy does, which is endangering the lives of others, and, you know, having questionable morals when it comes to the sanctity of marriage. That's none of my business as a fan. Like, I don't watch wrestling for Wyndham Rotunda. I watch wrestling for The Fiend / Bray Wyatt. So what he does in his personal life, fine. But I wish WWE would pull that trigger and go balls to the wall with The Fiend. And I don't know what their hesitance is in not doing that. Or maybe they have been doing it and I just haven't seen it.
All right, so I agree with you, and I don't mean to whiplash change subjects here.
No, man, go ahead.
But you want to lock ready? We're going to lock these picks in 3, 2, 1. Locked in.
Good.
Outside of wrestling, this was just brought to my attention. Chadwick Boseman, star of Black Panther, passed away.
Shut up.
Age 43.
How?
He had a 4-year battle with colon cancer.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
I didn't even know he was sick.
I didn't either. And that's absolutely devastating.
Good Lord.
They couldn't have picked someone better to portray Black Panther. I'm literally getting a little dewy right now. Because when
2020 is brutal.
Like it just won't let up. It's one of those things that you like. The movie Black Panther and the character Black Panther was like, for me, important because it was whenever the Marvel Universe started expanding, towards the Infinity War saga, the Infinity Gauntlet saga, you know what I mean? Black Panther and Doctor Strange, those two movies were the ones that made me go like, they were the first round of movies that I went, okay, here we go. Like, we're going to start just cranking out movies for every hero, and they're not going to be superb, and they're going to ruin the character, and they're going to cast great actors, but they're going to screw up the story and everything. And Black Panther was the first one that made me go, wow, they're nailing it.
Mm-hmm.
They so good. Like the movie Black Panther, and then him and the story of Wakanda throughout the entire Marvel universe and all the movies was phenomenal. It was probably one of the things that they really, really, really nailed. And the other being Doctor Strange. Like, Doctor Strange is fantastic, but we're not talking about that right now. But like Chadwick Boseman was the perfect Black Panther. And that's tragic. That is absolutely tragic.
So on a less tragic note,
Sure.
and I don't know if this is to be believed or not, and I know this is not exciting for anybody who is not in the P3 podcast group chat on the Facebooks, but I'm going to send this out. Just take a look at that screenshot.
All right. Let's take a look at this screenshot.
Christopher Epps of PWP Nation posted a screenshot of somebody in WWE Thunderdome.
No.
And it appears to be Kenny
Mr.
Omega.
Kenny Omega. Wow.
Now, if that's legit, because again, screenshots like this, they could be doctored. And if we're believing what the internet is saying to be true, we've seen somebody dressed up as the KKK. We've seen somebody's butt. We've seen a picture of Chris Benoit. If that's all true, man, that's got to suck for WWE Thunderdome. And the latest prank on WWE, whether that's a screenshot of somebody or a picture that somebody put, or whether it's actually him, if we're believing what is posted in PWP on their Facebook page, Kenny Omega appeared on a screen in WWE Thunderdome.
Let
me just tell you, if that's legit, that's the funniest thing ever.
Dude.
And congrats to AEW for trolling the shit out of WWE.
Yo, I could honestly say it might not be AEW or Kenny Omega trolling. Kenny Omega is legit a fan of wrestling, and he also has a lot of friends in the WWE, namely the guys from Up Up Down Down who appear on Up Up Down Down, or Left Right, if you will. Like, he's friends with a lot of those guys. That's the thing, is like, we sit here and pontificate on, brand versus brand and backstage politics and, who likes who and who hates who and all that stuff. But dude, honestly, really, at the end of the day, these guys are a fan of their craft. So why wouldn't they support each other, even though it's fucking hilarious?
Right. But I don't know. If that's legit, if that's a legit screenshot and that did actually happen and that it is actually Kenny Omega and not just a picture or a screenshot someone put up. That's funny though, because there's a difference between watching their product and, supporting their friends, being like, hey, I caught your match on Raw, or I caught your match on SmackDown. That was freaking awesome. Like I feel like that's friends supporting friends, but to get on the actual WWE Thunderdome,
that's amazing.
Oh, that is super funny.
Oh, that's outstanding.
And regardless, if that's him, regardless of the reasons he did it, to me, I'm pulling the beef. I'm channeling my inner beef. To me, that's super funny.
No, and dude, I love the title that they put in there. What's AEW doing in the Thunderdome?
Yeah, right.
That tickles me to death. I will try and remember to put a picture of it up so that people can see what we're talking about. Either it is Kenny Omega or it's someone who really fucking looks like Kenny Omega.
Yep. And it wouldn't really surprise me if somebody got a screenshot.
Oh, yeah.
And just put that screenshot up, on their computer.
Absolutely.
Or printed it out and put that piece of paper up in front of their webcam. That wouldn't shock me.
Oh, not in the least.
But as Thunderdome goes on, yeah, WWE is going to catch them and take them down, from the live feed or whatever. But there's no way in hell that we're done seeing trolls in the Thunderdome. This is going to be a process that continues on through the life of this WWE Thunderdome thing. People putting different pictures or screenshots up, people doing goofy stuff on camera. And the more hilarity that gets caught, the more that's going to instigate people into doing it more and more and more.
I'm shocked actually that we haven't seen more.
Yeah. I mean, me too. But I think it's going to continue. I think week after week we're gonna see these posts in these different wrestling forums. And for anybody that listens to this podcast and doesn't, follow these different wrestling forums on Facebook, do yourself a favor and go follow them. PWP Nation, things like that, because they're going to catch it. They're going to catch screenshots of people doing stuff like this, and they're going to put them up on their page, and it's just going to be continuing entertainment. That's what it is for me. Seeing all these different things, the KKK guy that dressed up like the KKK, that aside, that's not entertainment to me.
No.
But the Chris Benoit thing, the Pikachu, the guy sleeping, and now Kenny Omega. How long before either a legit Chris Jericho shows up or a picture of Chris Jericho shows up? Because I feel like that would almost be the ultimate troll for WWE. Chris Jericho or Cody Rhodes. If either they legit show up on Thunderdome or someone puts their picture up to be seen, that's like the ultimate troll.
No, and I absolutely 100% agree. Like, I love seeing this, and the best part is because this is going to get a little bit of traction online.
Oh, yes.
We're probably gonna see a lot more of this kind of stuff coming. And even if it was actually Kenny and he popped in, I guarantee you we're gonna start seeing people trying to screenshot like the Bucks or GIF the Bucks or something like that. I don't know.
Yep. Put them in there, especially with the Too Sweet sign showing up.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the Young Bucks, but just someone gets a picture of the Young Bucks throwing up the Too Sweet sign, because that'll drive Vince into a frenzy. Didn't he file a lawsuit way back to stop? Was it the Young Bucks from giving the Too Sweet sign, or was it the Bullet Club?
It was basically everyone outside of WWE.
Okay.
And so they developed the One Sweet, which I'm like, all right. That was whenever for me I was like, all right, guys, okay, like just let it go.
You're just trying to get a rise now.
Yeah, like let it go.
It's less funny and more you trying to poke the bear.
Exactly. But we're getting a little long in the tooth here, Ransom, ourselves.
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase. Huzzah. Well, and the Maniac did a wonderful job earlier. First of all, thank you very much to the MidCard Maniac for showing up and being willing to put in his 2 cents here on the P3 podcast. Looking forward to having him on more. Thank you very much to Tiger. Bomb Tom and his page Casual Gaming Dad on Facebook and Casual Gaming Dad's Corner. Make sure you go give them a like and follow. Tom plays some great stuff, and he's just a peach of a fella. You can also catch him on YouTube and Twitch, Casual Gaming Dad 84. Also, thank you to Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with IWC in the central Pennsylvania area. We really appreciate that. And we're looking forward to the next time that there is going to be a performance here in Clearfield. Looking forward to it very much. And also, Sean, if you're listening to this, which the 50-50 shot you are, I hope you enjoyed Bill and Ted Face the Music. He was really looking forward to it. And I'm going to watch it myself after I catch up with all the Spider-Man movies. You know, we'll see how everything shakes out with Payback, and then we've got one last pay-per-view to pick for the month, and that would be AEW All Out. We'll do that next week for Beef the Legend, the absent Beef the Legend, Mr. Tiger. One more time, please.
Uppercut, absent.
Bomb Tom, the rightful reigning, defending, undisputed Cruiserweight champion, Mr. Alec Ransom.
Ooh, present.
Oh, you see that? I can be a good advocate. I can be a good advocate. And myself.
You swerved me.
Myself, the soon-to-be reigning, defending, undisputed, Cruiserweight champion, Mr. Poot the Bard, baby. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful evening. This was a good one.